Have you ever listened to an album that tells you not to think too hard, and yet you can't stop thinking about it? That's exactly what happened when I literally jumped up out of bed. I didn't even jump. I just woke up, rolled over, and picked up my phone and listened to the latest Tyler, the Creator album, Don't Tap the Glass. But what if I told you it's a bridge between Call Me If You Get Lost and the emotional abyss that is Chromakopia? Sure, Tyler said that it's supposed to be just an album made for us to dance, no concept, to which we were supposed to keep our expectations low. And yet I think we kind of interpreted it to not think too hard. But what if I told you it's a coded message about vulnerability and maybe, just maybe, a bridge between Call Me If You Get Lost and the emotional abyss that is Chromakopia? What? And you know what? He almost would have gotten away with it too. Until the last 30 seconds. Let's talk about the glass, the heart, and the moment that Tyler said, "Call my mama," right after reminding us that the glass was not tapped. Hello, my name is... Oh, wait, hold it. Some of you might know me as Cosmic, but when it comes to music, just like Tyler is a Pisces with multiple personalities, I too am one that operates in that manner. So for those of you who remember, my name is Top Cat the Goddess. I am your YouTube personality, your musical griot, and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for being here, because you could have been anywhere on... I'm gonna change my intro just a little bit, because usually I say Beyonce's internet, but given the subject matter of today's conversation, you could have been anywhere on Tyler, the Creator's internet, but you are here with me, and I greatly appreciate you for that. So if you like what you see upon your black screen, then definitely hit the subscribe button, baby, because we're obviously friends now.
We're friends now.
So, we already know that there are rules. In the very first track of Big Poe, a robotic voice gives us 3 shit.
Number 3, don't tap the glass.
It's cute, right? Fun, playful, just vibes. And rule number 2 really sets the tone.
Leave your baggage at home.
Only speak in glory. So Tyler says none of that deep shit. But by the end of the album, he contradicts himself. And we're feeling that very thing that he's trying to avoid. He told us to avoid. This whole album is just a defense mechanism. A disco ball shielding a bleeding heart. Tyler's not just keeping us dancing. He's kind of keeping us distracted. The album itself was made by Tyler while he was on tour. He even said it himself. It was made within the last 6 months of him being on tour of his very successful, highly acclaimed, sold out tour of Chromakopia, where some of the songs there are some of the songs that are made for us to dance to, like Ratata.
Hey, fuck your hip hop. I watch the party just die.
And Sticky.
It's getting sticky.
Some of the topics on there are pretty heavy. Songs like Him and Hey Jane, Paranoid.
Worry about tomorrow.
I mean, even a little bit of I Killed You hit with so much weight, and you might not feel so inclined to shake your ass. Since we're talking about rules, Tyler is a Pisces. He's a Pisces sun with an Aries Venus and a Gemini Mars, and I know that because I'm literally 3 days older than him.
Oh, Lord.
I mean, he's March 6th. I'm March 3rd. I mentioned this before in a video that I've done when I literally reacted to Chromakopia. You should check out my reaction. But with that being said, I kind of feel like I understand him in some ways. Like when I listen to Chromacopia, especially with the fact that like we are two single adults working on our careers at our point in our lives, like a lot of his stuff felt like a male version of what the fuck I'm going through. It felt like he was holding up a mirror to me in a weird sense. One thing about Pisces, we contradict ourselves if it means that we get to have a little bit of freedom.
I said, hold up, wait a minute.
What do I mean? Tyler's career seemed to have a formula to it. And there were these expectations of rules that he needed to follow set by his fans because of the patterns that he created.
Tyler, the Creator, broke his routine of dropping every 2 years.
Tyler only releases albums every other year on odd years. So then he drops a deluxe album to Call Me If You Get Lost on the next year. And he drops Chromakopia in 2024.
I wrote a list down of every song that I've put out. And I said, I have 3 good written songs.
Tyler does funny content or shockcore hip hop. He doesn't really make music like that. So then he releases Flower Boy and Igor. Both put people that are really into music on Tyler's radar. And he even received a Grammy for because of Igor. Oh, but Tyler is not a real rapper though. Like he raps, but like he ain't really serious about it. So then he drops Call Me If You Get Lost. Call me if you lost. Just to let you know, stop playing with this man's pen. You gotta stop putting this man in a box, bro. I mean, even just with the release of this album, who drops an album in the middle of a tour that they're still touring for? Tyler, the Creator, does. Somebody that's probably frustrated with his set list because of the fact that, like, I'm probably ready to start dancing, but I don't have a dancing type track. So he goes on his days off and on his breaks in his tour, and he makes music, and then he puts it together, and then he releases it.
You big silly goose.
Don't put this man in a box because all he'll do is contradict himself just to protect his freedom that he craves. And I think that's where the Venus and Aries comes from. So, right after Don't Tap the Glass was released, Tyler tweeted about how the club experience and the hip hop culture has like become this self-conscious culture, all because they were afraid of becoming a meme and people had stopped dancing altogether. I mean, if you go to clubs right now, a lot of people are more worried about buying sections and buying bottles and just looking cute than going out on the dance floor. Now, I, for one, have gone to the dance floor every single time because I ain't paid to get into a club. First of all, I don't like to pay. I am the free before 11 type girl. I will get in there to save my money on. But I don't get dressed up just to look good. If I want to get dressed up to look good, I'll just stay in my house and go on a stream, I guess, or watch a movie. But I go outside to be seen and have fun and have an experience. So you gonna catch me on the dance floor, which is probably why I love this album so much. Back in the day, where we used to have our little you got served moments that we used to battle and whatnot, like I used to sweat out my braids, not my perm, my braids. There are pictures of somewhere floating of me at prom where my track is like I'm turning and my hair from my quick weave is like following behind me. When I dance, but unfortunately, my younger counterparts have become so acclimated with just standing up or doing TikTok battles in the confines of their home that they don't go out and dance. But dancing used to be a communal thing. So his mission with this album was to give us permission to move.
Body movement. No sitting still.
But even in that tweet, there is mourning. Mourning for connection, for joy, the uninhibited spirit of being in your body. There is a nostalgia, a pang for the yesteryears. And I think Tyler just wants us to get lost again.
The estate sale.
Call Me If You Get Lost was basically the Jiggy era. We all remember it as the Jiggy era. You know, status, wealth, sexual fluidity, a global flex, if you will. We hear this in songs like Lemonhead,
2-minute calls, shoulda go call, yeah, catching dust, won't even stop.
a song of pure flex. It's an anthem. It's chaotic, but it's powerful. In What's Your Name, it's a romantic ego bait in exotic locations. Hot Wind Blows, traveling through Geneva with luxury style and brag bars. I mean, Run It Up is just a manifesto of momentum and material status. And let's not forget about Safari, an outro flex wrapping it all up in the whirlwind tour of glory. Even Call Me When You Get Lost and it has its cracks. Massa, Wilshire, Sweet, I Thought You Wanted to Dance. Those were early emotional leaks.
When I turned 23, that's when puberty finally hit me.
Massa questions how much Tyler has really grown with his lyrics. Like, it's a self-reflection masked in swagger. And I mean, Wilshire. A 9-minute brain dump of raw, emotional, diary-style heartbreak. Tyler even said it himself. I think he was like, I don't care if what it sounds like. I just need to get this off my chest.
And then I did that whole song, the 8-minute song in one take, just sitting in a chair like this. Wow. And a mic like this. And I said, keep it. Because at that moment I said, I won't ever feel like this again for this situation. And I put all that emotion there. I don't want to re-record it. I don't want to clean it up. I want what I was feeling at that moment so in there.
The beat never changes. And it's just one long confession of a love triangle where Tyler falls for someone who's already in a relationship. And it's not just anybody in a relationship. It's somebody that he's in a close friendship with, and he's in love with their girl. It's not romantic. It's really messy. It's deep. It's really uncomfortable and vulnerable. And Sweet, I Thought You Wanted to Dance is basically the culmination of it all. Where Paradise Gone Sour, the first half is sugar-coated in adoration, but by the time we hit the second half, it breaks into disappointment and misunderstanding. When the whole Call Me If You Get Lost era ends, and the very last music video that we get and song that we get on the track is Sorry Not Sorry. Let's look at the music video visual itself. Tyler is putting on a show for everybody. Right, and now we've already decoded this because of the fact that we noticed when Chromakopia came out, we see the uniform that later turns out to be Saint Chroma. But beforehand, all we see is Tyler in all of his various personas. Wolf, Cherry Bomb, Sir Baudelaire, all of the people that he personified throughout his various different eras, every album that he's put on beforehand, and they're slowly disappearing. At the beginning of the estate sale, DJ Drama, who's the narrator of Call Me When You Get Lost, says that everything must go. And slowly but surely, we see them all disappear. And although only 2 personas are left standing and we never see them get taken away, we are made to assume that they are gone as well. And by the end of Sorry Not Sorry, a shirtless Tyler, that we assume might be Saint Chroma, is brutally attacking Sir Baudelaire on screen as if that's the persona that he resents the most. So in a world before Don't Tap the Glass, we meet Saint Chroma and we just, assume that it's business as usual. But now that we do have Don't Tap the Glass, we might actually be able to see where Saint Chroma came from and how the mask was actually able to be formed.
Don't tap the glass.
So now we're here. We're at Don't Tap the Glass. Now, you could listen to Chromakopia beforehand, but I challenge you. I challenge you to go from Call Me If You Get Lost to actually play Don't Tap the Glass next.
I said, hold up, wait a minute.
Now, stick with me, okay? So, this is where we get introduced to the three rules. It sounds like business as usual, right? So, Sir Baudelaire is dead. So Baudelaire is gone. All the personas are disappeared. And then the first persona that we meet is Big Poe. And so you go through everything like that. You know, you're dancing, you're sweating, none of that deep shit. You're not thinking that hard. But by the final tracks, Tyler kind of disappears from his own album.
I do. Clock that T. Clock that T.
With songs like I'll Take Care of You and Don't You Worry, Baby. Some of these songs are sonically all Tyler. I'll Take Care of You is cherry bomb drums, Yebba vocals, production layers, but Tyler is audibly absent. Don't You Worry, Baby is written by Tyler, and he talks about how it's fun to write from a female's perspective or a feminine perspective, kind of like he did from Hey Jane. Yet again, Tyler's presence is only behind the curtain. So again, it's sexually fluid, it's feminine coded, it's deeply intimate, but where's Tyler? He's producing the feeling, but not embodying it. It's like he sets the emotional stage, he cues the lights, and then he exits before the first line. He's watching through the glass. In the song Don't You Worry, Baby, Madison McFerrin, whose vocals are A1 and on point, sings, "Don't you worry, baby, I've got time and I'm gonna give it to you. Give you the world before you fall asleep. Don't hit my light if you gon' waste my time. Wake up." And meanwhile, the only time that we ever hear Tyler is where you hear him say, "Damn girl, you better move your hips. Damn girl, you better move your hips." Which he repeats 8 times. It's repetitive. It's like a command. It's very chant-like. Now, for those of us who like to move around through sound, through chant, and uses it as a conjuring tool, it's kind of like a trauma exorcism through our hips. Because if you didn't know, like, the body stores trauma and emotions in our hips, and sometimes we need to release our shit. So the best way for us to do is to do hip exercise. And anyway, I mean, in the context of the song, it might just sound like both sides or both parties are unsatisfied. And then we come to I'll Take Care of You, which when I first heard it, it sounded like almost like a response to Don't You Worry, Baby, right? Because Yebba is singing "Girl," which would be something that you would expect for a dude to sing, or a girl just stole Tyler's girl. Anyway, let's just assume that I'll Take Care of You is the response. You have this arpeggio going, it sounds all dreamlike, everything like that. And then next thing you know, you hear the cherry bomb beat and the Knuck If You Buck sample in the background. And it's giving you this teeter-totter energy, almost as if like this masculine energy trying to fight to keep up his walls. Okay, you get me? Like, Knuck If You Buck, because, like, wait, we might actually be getting towards the point where you are tapping the glass. No. But it does feel like a battle of masculine and feminine energy, like, all fighting together in one. At least when I first heard it. But in the middle of the song, Tyler does whisper, "Wait, I'm going through some shit." So, like, he's present in the production, but he's not vocally participating. It's almost like as if you're at a party, you're at the point in the party where it's like, all right, I'm glad to be in the atmosphere and I'm glad to be around the people, but I think it's time for me to like sit down in the corner over here and check my phone. Like, cause I'm almost checked out. It's like your introvert is showing. Or is that just me? But honestly, maybe it's just me, but it feels like at least at this point in the album, maybe he's in a corner, maybe he's on the couch, but maybe he's behind the glass. And now we could talk about performing connection versus actually being in it, which sets us up for the final track.
Tell me what it is. Tell me what it is. Tell me what.
Someone tweeted like, damn, bro. 5 hours and you still can't find love? We'll get to that. I have a theory about that too. But in this song, Tyler is rich and he's successful. He could buy the world, but he can't buy love. He sings, Mama, I'm a millionaire, but I feel like a bum.
I can buy the galaxy, but can't afford to look for love.
And then with that final line, Tyler says in the background, call my mama. That's not just a phone call. This is regression. This is the inner child reaching out after the party ends. Now, I like to cite my sources. When I was watching Knox Hill break down and interpret the album, he brought up the fact that when you hear the song, the robot come back in talking about, don't tap the glass, immediately you hear Tyler croon, my heart, my heart. Right? Which, again, as I've mentioned before, kind of contradicts rule number 2, right?
Only speak in glory.
Only speak in glory, aka don't get vulnerable, don't go deep.
Leave your baggage at home.
None of that deep shit.
So with this album, he's not just distracting us, he's protecting himself. This album is basically a projection of a dance floor, but it's a disco shield, a mirror ball. Emphasis on the mirror. Tyler warns us not to tap the glass, aka not to get too far, but Knox Hill brings up the point that like maybe the glass is Tyler, or at least the glass might be his heart, which got me to thinking like, wait a minute, he might be on to something. So let's fully break down this outro.
I hope you enjoyed yourself.
Very surface level, right? A polite send-off. Underneath, this was an event, a temporary escape, and he's resetting the tone.
Maybe next time you could stay longer.
It sounds like he's talking to you, the listener, but like, what if he's talking to himself? To go deeper, maybe more emotional than he kept locked behind the rules. You know, this album is only 28 minutes long, so you might think, oh, maybe you could stay longer because all of his albums are longer than 10 tracks. Some people might call this a mixtape, but again, what if this is like Tyler saying to himself, maybe you could stay longer? But Tyler immediately snaps back and says,
Take your ass home.
and now we're being told that we were never really meant to be in a permanent stay. This wasn't intimacy. This was a controlled visitation.
The glass was not tapped.
No one broke the boundary. Not even himself. The emotions were never let loose. We were close. He maintained control over the entire event, the entire time. The party stayed shallow, but on purpose. But here is where the bomb drops, and my theory about this being a bridge comes to fruition. Because although the robot says the glass was not tapped, Tyler says,
Call my mama.
who's the first voice that we hear on Chromakopia?
You are the light. It's not on you, it's in you.
Here's mama. But I'm going to get to that. The instant shift from cool to tender shows. And right after saying the glass was not tapped, we do hear a cry for comfort. It's like once he's alone, the audience is gone. Maybe Don't Tap the Glass is a house party that he threw at one of his other cribs. He turns inward for reflection. And so he sends us off with a thank you until next time. And the curtain drops, the character exits, and we're left staring at the untouched glass.
Thank you. Until next time.
Glass could symbolize many of things. The glass could symbolize our phone. And maybe because you were so busy dancing for the last 28 minutes, you weren't worried about what was happening on your device. And Tyler ends the album by whispering for his mama. It's not just vulnerability, that's surrender. That's not just a phone call, that's kind of regression. Like your inner child is reaching out for comfort after the end of the party. It's like the emotional aquarium closes. So where do we go?
Chromakopia.
Chromakopia.
Which brings me to Chromakopia. Like I mentioned, who is the very first voice that we hear in Chromakopia?
You are the light. It's not on you, it's in you.
Don't you ever in your motherfucking life dim your light for nobody. The album opens up with his mama. The same mama that he calls out to at the end of Don't Tap the Glass. It's almost like the whole album, the whole dance album, was just a holding pattern. Maybe it was just the holding music while he was trying to get connected to his mama. You ever seen the memes where it's like, what else is my mama doing besides being my mama? Why won't she answer my phone? It gives a moment of movement before the moments of mourning. Because yes, Saint Chroma starts talking about how much he's grown and everything like that, but we're instantly hit with paranoid. A feeling of being misunderstood and isolation. And then we're back to Jiggy Rap with Ra-Ta-Ta. But then throughout the album, we are being paralleled and whiplashed back and forth with songs like Hey Jane, an emotionally messy and longing conversation between Tyler, who he accidentally shot up the club for, and the consequences of those actions. And then like I Killed You is immediately after, which I had a theory on my channel where I was like, well, did she kill it? And then in his tweet, he talks about Schmorshman. I was right. I love being right. You have like him. Again, a hyper self-awareness song about insecurity and connection between him and his father and the ghost that was, which I think we might have misunderstood because, like, yeah, maybe when he was a child, his mom might have said, like, I'm sorry, I kept him away from you. But this nigga is 34 years old. Your mother cannot keep a grown man from contacting another grown man. Just saying. Think about that. Food for thought. Anyway. And then, like I said, I Killed You is a song about his love-hate relationship with his hair. Which makes sense, seeing that he's a Leo moon and possibly a Leo rising. And Leos and their hair and the manes and the lions and everything like that. But anyway. Don't Tap the Glass equals repression. But Chromakopia was actually an album of reflection. Oh, and then you got songs like Tomorrow and everything like that. Like, this album is a open diary, right? So I can see why he makes Don't Tap the Glass, because he's like, bro, I've been touring since February. If he wants to twerk, he can twerk. Don't Tap the Glass sonically is repression, and Chromakopia is reflection. But Don't Tap the Glass, Tyler is dancing in neon, as Chromakopia is him crying in grayscale, putting the colors back into the sky.
Chromakopia.
Like an aquarium or a zoo exhibit, the label says it all. Don't tap the glass. He's already under observation. He's already distorted by performance, perception, and pressure. Hell, he's damn near daring us to lean on it. So in fact, what if this whole trilogy has been about the tension between the display and intimacy, right? The display would be Call Me If You Get Lost, the passport era, the global flex, the curated influence. You think you're invited, but you're actually just waiting for postcards, especially if you can't afford a LaFerrari. Don't Tap the Glass would be the performance era. That's where the glass starts to show. The dance floor persona, the neon emotions. You hear the rhythm, but you miss the ache. And then Chromakopia would be the intimacy, the afterglow, the slow fade, the color drain, the ghost. And that's when you realize the light comes within. He's been under glass this entire time. It took this album for us to finally see and notice the reflection. Let's talk about Beyonce.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, this won't be long, and I promise you there is a point I will land the plane. Just stick with me here and indulge. Now, if you might not have known, as of July 27, 2025, Beyonce Giselle Knowles Carter just finished her Cowboy Carter tour. And it was epic. It was beautiful. It was worth staying up until 3 a.m. to watch it because she was in Las Vegas. So, of course, she started on time. Actually, she started late as hell. But anyway, that's not the point. Right now, Beyonce is in the middle of a 3-act trilogy on for all of these albums. I say 3 acts in quotes because if you're a real beehive, you already have a suspicion that that lady ain't gonna stop at 3. 4 is her favorite number. Act 1 was originally supposed to be Cowboy Carter. If everything was supposed to come out according to the way that she originally envisioned it, in 2022 we were supposed to get Cowboy Carter. But Beyonce said in her Renaissance, the film movie, that the way that the state of the world was in 2022, she thought that Cowboy Carter was just too dense in subject matter and everything like that. So she decided that she wanted to release Renaissance instead because Renaissance was an album that was made for us to come on, dance.
I said, hold up, wait a minute.
She just wanted us to dance, feel good, have fun, be lighthearted, enjoy ourselves, all of those things, right? So she released Break My Soul, which had very mixed reviews. And Renaissance was an album that was dance coded. It was very much based in house and club music. It had R&B genres, but Renaissance is very much a house-based album. It's based in LGBTQIA plus imagery lingo. Now, some of you might be like, wait, I think I see where you're going. And some of you might have been like, girl, just hurry up and land the plane. Everyone in the Beehive knows that she gave us Renaissance first because she needed joy. What if Tyler is just executing in Beyonce's original vision? What if he gives us the emotional diary first, like Cowboy Carter, like Chromakopia, and then he hands us the Freedom album, like Don't Tap the Glass? There's also even some track parallels too. Big Poe is I'm That Girl. Same song, different genders. Sugar on My Tongue, Virgo's Groove, both freaky nasty sexy songs. Okay? Sucker Free is Alien Superstar. maybe even cozy. But it's more alien superstar than cozy. Mama and them and Stop Playing With Me is heated. Don't Tap the Glass and Tweaking, America Has a Problem. Don't You Worry, Baby is basically the church girl's anthem. Because nobody can judge me but me. I was born free. Now I got time and I'm going to give it to you. And tell me what it is. It's the plastic off the sofa of the album. Because we're getting raw. We're getting raw with our emotions. So, call me crazy. But I dare you to listen to Don't Tap the Glass and then listen to Renaissance and tell me you don't get similar feelings.
Okay, let's move on.
As I've laid out the evidence, hopefully you can see that maybe, just maybe, Don't Tap the Glass is maybe supposed to go before Chromakopia. It's not supposed to be after. It actually might be supplementary to be in between because it's in the middle of the Chromakopia run. You've made it through the Mirror Maze at least. Don't Tap the Glass isn't just a dance record. It might actually be a delicate breakdown in Tyler's discography. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate y'all. Let me know what you think about my theory in the comments. Like I said, I would hope that you would at least give my theory out and listen to all 3 albums in that order. Tell me what you think and then come back to me and then let's talk it out because I love having these conversations. And although people on Twitter and TikTok love to call me Reed Richards because I'm having a Mr. Fantastic ass reach with this, I think I might actually be on to something. Tell me, what do you think? Do you think that this theory might actually have some legs? Or am I tweaking? All right, y'all. I love you so much. If nobody has told you this, you fucking matter. And I hope that you have a fantastic day. If you haven't done so yet, make sure that you hit the subscribe button because we're no longer just friends.
We are a family, like a giant tree, branching out toward the sky.
Until I see you next time. Don't tap the glass unless you're ready to feel what's behind it. Bye.